Coming up, White House officials defend a controversial decision by President Trump on migrants. We are learning more about how Kratom could be blamed for more deaths than previously thought. We'll have the results of a new study. And officials are recalling some melons due to possible contamination. We will tell you which ones could be bad.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. It is 5:29 on the dot. I'm Will Puckett. Thank you for tuning in to Mountain News This Morning on Monday, April the 15th. If you are going to go outside, it's Monday again. You're going to be a little bit chilly. It's some temperatures that we haven't seen in a while, so you're going to want to either throw on a vest or an extra little jacket to get you through this morning. Brandon, it's going to be a little bit colder day than we've been used to over the next couple days, but at least we didn't see those terribly strong storms like we were expecting yesterday.
That's right. Well, you need some coffee?
Yeah, like 5 cups.
I'll go get you a cup here in a minute. But you're right. This morning, things are much quieter, much calmer than they were yesterday. Didn't get too bad yesterday afternoon, thankfully. But a lot of folks I know were, including us here on the weather team, were kind of on edge. So we were keeping a very close eye on that, as we often do when we see this time of the year bring those spring storms. Let's take a look at our live pinpoint Doppler radar this morning. And you don't see a whole lot of activity, but again, a little green trying to show up there, indicating maybe the chance for a few stray showers this morning. So be careful of that. Temperatures in the 30s and 40s depending on where you are. The warmest spot in the region right now is Jacksboro at 43. Coolest spots, Jackson and Somerset tied at 37, along with Wise, a trio there. Across the state, 33 in Paducah, 38 Louisville, 39 in Cincinnati, 44 over in the Tri-Cities, and the winds continue to crank. They've shifted now, blowing out of the west and northwest there. So again, a cooler day on tap for us. 55 is your forecast high. We averaged 68 for this time of the year. The record is 86 set back on this day in 2006. The rest of the forecast coming up here in just a few minutes. Will?
All righty, Brandon. Thank you. White House officials are defending President Trump's controversial proposal to send detained migrants to so-called sanctuary cities on Sunday. Those are often democratically controlled towns and cities that refuse to fully cooperate with federal immigration enforcement. CBS's Errol Barnett is at the White House.
Is if Democrats would step up and help the president fix the laws, this all could go away.
Press Secretary Sarah Sanders today reinforced the administration's plan to send detained migrants to sanctuary cities, many of them run by Democrats.
They support open borders, they support sanctuary cities, so let's spread out some of that burden and let's put it in some of those other locations if that's what they want to see happen and are refusing to actually help fix the problem.
Whether it's catch and release or chain migration or any of them, the asylum laws are absolutely insane.
On Friday, the president once again vented frustration about the nation's immigration and asylum laws, while insisting Saturday he has the absolute legal right to implement his transfer plan. Opponents of the president's plan call it expensive, dehumanizing, and illegal.
This is, again, his manufactured chaos.
The president has no right to spend money appropriated by Congress for other purposes.
Jerry Nadler, who chairs the House Judiciary Committee, said today he's interested to hear more from the president's senior advisor, Stephen Miller.
We heard several weeks ago from whistleblowers that Steve Miller came up with this, and probably Steve Miller, who seems to be the boss of everybody on immigration, ought to come before Congress and explain some of these policies.
Now, the White House is also pushing back against reports President Trump offered a pardon to his new acting secretary of the Department of Homeland Security if he broke immigration law. Press Secretary Sarah Sanders dismissing that notion Sunday, saying President Trump is about law and order. Errol Barnett, CBS News, the White House.
The White House is also pushing back on reports President Trump offered a pardon to his new acting secretary of the Department of Homeland Security if he broke immigration law. Press Secretary Sarah Sanders dismissed that notion Sunday, saying President Trump is about law and order. Now, meanwhile, Ivanka Trump is starting a tour of Africa to promote her Women's Global Development and Prosperity Program. She is in Ethiopia to meet with women working in the coffee industry. She will also tour a woman-run factory that produces household furnishings and other products. Later today, President Trump will attend a conference with high-profile Ethiopian women, including Ethiopia's first female president. Mayor Pete Buttigieg of South Bend, Indiana, made it official on Sunday. He is running for president. Buttigieg kicked off his campaign in his hometown. He is the 18th Democrat to join an already crowded field. He is an Afghanistan war veteran and a Harvard grad and is the first openly gay presidential candidate.
I recognize the audacity of doing this as a Midwestern millennial mayor. We live in a moment that compels us each to act.
Buttigieg told the crowd that freedom, security, and democracy do not belong to one political party and that he is running to champion the causes of workers and families. In polling conducted before he declared, Buttigieg is placing third in both Iowa and New Hampshire. Well, 20,000 people across Pakistan paid tribute to the victims of last month's terror attack in New Zealand. In drone footage published on the Muslims Institute's Facebook page, people recreated the shape of Al Noor Mosque in Christchurch. The event marked the one-month anniversary of the attack, where more than 40 worshippers died after a gunman opened fire during Friday prayers. Pope Francis marked Palm Sunday Mass in St. Peter's Square, which was jammed with tens of thousands of faithful. Sprinkling holy water, Francis blessed palm fronds and olive branches clutched by pilgrims, tourists, and Romans. He watched from steps in the center of the square. After the blessing, the Pope, wearing red robes and cradling a braided palm, joined a procession to an open-air altar to celebrate Mass. The Red Cross is desperately searching for 3 staff members abducted in Syria more than 5 years ago. They believe Louise Okavi, a nurse from New Zealand, may still be alive. The Red Cross has never been able to confirm the fate of her drivers. All 3 were part of a convoy delivering supplies when they were captured by the Islamic State. A 23-year-old disabled man in Oklahoma is fighting for his life after being checked into a hospital weighing only 30 pounds. According to police, the man was admitted to OU Children's Hospital for severe malnutrition and having flu-like symptoms. Police say doctors were concerned about his body being severely underweight. Lab tests reveal the patient's sodium levels were extremely elevated, indicating he had not had adequate amounts of water. It's not clear when he will be released from the hospital. A national organization is paying tribute to a fallen Virginia State Police trooper. Officials with the Cannonball Memorial Run organization will make a formal presentation to Trooper Lucas B. Dowell's parents. Trooper Dowell was shot and killed in the line of duty in February while helping serve a search warrant. He was just 28 and a Southwest Virginia native. A community is mourning the death of a fire captain this morning. The City of Raceland Fire Department Captain Cody Grubb died Saturday at the age of 29. Co-workers say he died from natural causes. He spent 15 years fighting fires in the area. Firefighters say the plan on holding his visitation and funeral at the department. They do not know when that will be just yet. Health officials are urging caution about kratom this morning. This comes as a new study links more deaths with the herbal drug than what was previously known. Kratom is a plant from Southeast Asia that's sold in pills, capsules, and extracts. It's a popular over-the-counter remedy for opioid withdrawal. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention analyzed reports of more than 27,000 unintentional drug overdoses across 32 states and Washington, D.C. The study states 152 of those people were found to have kratom in their system, and the drug was a cause of death for 91 of them. Meanwhile, officials with the CDC say the nationwide flu activity is going down, but is still elevated. The flu season is now tied as the longest in the last 5 years at 20 weeks. For comparison, the last 5 seasons averaged 16 weeks. Since last October, officials estimate there have been hundreds of thousands of flu hospitalizations and more than 34 million flu-like illnesses. Anyone can get the flu, but there are ways to protect yourself.
If there are individuals out there who haven't had the flu vaccine but would consider getting it, they should talk with their physician.
CDC officials also urge everyday preventative measures like avoiding close contact with anyone who is sick and washing your hands often with soap and water. Nearly 100 people from 9 states have gotten sick in a salmonella outbreak. Pre-cut melons sold at Whole Foods, Kroger, Target, Walmart, Trader Joe's, and other stores has been voluntarily recalled. The recalled products include pre-cut watermelon, honeydew melon, and cantaloupe. They were packaged in clear plastic clamshell containers and sold under various brands. A full list of the recalled products is available on the FDA's website. Let's move to some financial news this morning. Americans are gearing up to hit the road this summer. AAA says 40% of us are planning a family vacation. 1 in 3 will go on a second trip if gas prices stay low. The national average for gas prices skyrocketed 28 cents this past month. I filled up for $2.75 yesterday. Not happy about it. Doug Shoup with AAA says climbing prices are due to 3 factors: a Midwest storm that cut off supply, a more expensive summer blend, and partial shutdowns of refineries.
4 of those refineries are located here in Southern California, and that's why we have seen some double-digit increases at the pumps.
$4.79. I'd rather walk to work. AAA says gas prices will remain high for the next 2 to 3 weeks. Drivers can start to see a slight drop in May, but prices will still be high for summer travel. Tuition, it's going up for West Virginia University students. The WVU Board of Governors approved a $120 annual tuition increase for in-state undergrad students. The tuition increases were approved Friday. Cost is also going up at Beckley's Institute of Technology. Annual nursing tuition will go up by about 8%. A number of well-known Eastern Kentucky families take over the family business. Coming up, we take you to Butcher Holler.
It'll be a good day to get out and visit Loretta Lynn's old home place and anything else outdoors after that morning chill lifts anyway. I'll have your full forecast in about 3 minutes.